Hello, hello, hello there. This is being made pretty late for me, so apologies on that. Some stuff in my life happened. Anyways, welcome back to the Draft Diaries. We are, hoo boy, looking at week 7, and I gotta be real. I don't like our odds anymore. But you'll see why in a moment. Let's go over the team build as per the usual. Nightmare the Chi-Yu, Choice Spec, Speed of Ruin, Heat Wave, Dark Pulse, Terra Blast, Overheat with Fairy Terra. Max Special Attack, almost max speed. It is spec'd to be slower than Charizard, due to the fact that, as you can probably see somewhere over here, our opponent had a Lugia that I was very much preparing for, if that tells you anything. Then we have Gasoline, the Charizard, of course. Charizardite, Blaze, doesn't really matter, it becomes Drought. Roost, Heat Wave, Scorching Sands, Air Slash. While we're on the subject, actually, I have given Gasoline a contract, meaning for the next 2 seasons, Gasoline will be part of our team. Guaranteed. And we gave a franchise tag to Chi-Yu, which means as long as we can pay for it, Chi-Yu will permanently be part of our team. Paying for it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Fade to Black. We did something a little bit different with him this week, which was we went max speed, max HP, a jolly nature, a little bit in attack. Follow Me, Helping Hand, Darkest Lariat, Volt Switch. He was meant to be support for Devil Trigger, who we brought in with the Koba Berry, the Agility, Focus, or Psycho Cut, Sacred Sword, Night Slash, max speed, max attack, adamant nature, a little bit in special defense. Part of our goal this week was to try to see if maybe we could do some Gallade shenanigans. Probably wasn't the best idea, but we tried it. Bye the Ambipom. It's unfortunate to say, but it's the same as every other week. Max attack, max speed, jolly nature, Fake Out, Thunderwave, U-turn, Gunk Shot, Silk Scarf, Technician. I really like Fake Out, and if that's all that Ambipom does, that's all Ambipom has to do. And then this week we brought Crybaby with us. Wasn't really expecting to need it, so I thought maybe it would be a decent idea. But I definitely am starting to question drafting Lapras, but honestly, it doesn't do horrible for me overall. We went for a very bulky build this time. Max defense, max HP, Alluring Voice, Freeze Dry, Haze, and Life Dew. Haze because I know my opponent this week has a tendency to use his Quackleval and try to sweep with it. So I resist that fairly well. But let's get into the matchup. As you can see, Lugia did not come. Instead, we have Hisuian Electrode, Gyarados, Enamorus, Hydreigon, Duraludon, Quackleval. So let's see how it went. So we have a lead that I keep on having everyone tell me, oh, you should use this lead more often. Chi-Yu next to Charizard. And I said, you know what? Maybe you guys are right. Let me do that. And you know, for a second there, everything looked okay. Switch out into Electivire, switch into Lapras. Dragon Pulse takes out half of my Electivire. Superpower takes out most of my Lapras, and then Enamorus went up. What I realized after is I probably should have just stayed in and clicked Heat Wave. Like, it wouldn't have done great, but I think it could have applied more pressure in the long run. Went for the nasty plot. I got the Volt switch off to get Electivire out of there. Went in for Ampharos. He gets the Tailwind, Alluring Voice. Unfortunately, he went for Steel, so it gets resisted. Okay, back to me. Fake out against Enamorus. Cool. Steel Terra Blast against Lapras. Can't do much about it. Back into Chi-Yu. I did not expect that to KO. But in case you didn't notice, this Enamorus has shown that it has superpower. And what didn't I do with Chi-Yu? This was probably one of the worst mistakes I made throughout the entire course of this battle, was not clicking Terra. Because a Heat Wave from that low of HP would have killed it. Which puts me in an infinitely better position to try to win this game. But unfortunately, it is what it is. We go into Fade to Black with Charizard to get the sun back up. Unfortunately, Charizard doesn't really get a lot here. Yeah. Because he was able to take out the Electivire in one go. Gets that. And then I go in for Glade, who unfortunately just can't take a hit. Probably should have went Focus Sash. It's unfortunate, because this does really negatively impact our ability to make the playoffs. I think as of right now, I am actually in the red. So, if I want to try to make it to playoffs now, I'm going to have to really put in a lot of work. But I think there's this very small chance. I'm not going to rule it out. As I've been told, it's never over until it's fully over. So, if I can somehow pull some stuff off. Speaking of which, though, well, I'm here already, and because this is going relatively quickly, our current total is 2 and 5 at -10. Person above us is currently 3 and 4 with a -6. The problem is, in order to get to playoffs, the two lowest playoff teams are 3 and 4 with 0 differential. So we really need to step it up. Hopefully, though, a new pickup we got this week will help with that. Because I went back to some of my older seasons and decided to pick up a Pokemon from back in the day that I'm quite a big fan of, who maybe I'll put on screen. We dropped Vulpix in order to pick up Mega Aerodactyl. So, let's see if a blast from the past is able to come through and help salvage this season. Unfortunately, I really don't think we'll make it into the playoffs, but I'm gonna do my absolute best to see if we can get there. But win or lose, playoffs or not, I've genuinely had a lot of fun this season, and I think, while I haven't been playing it the best, I do genuinely think this is still one of my best teams that I've managed to get my hands on. And you know what? I have at least the main core of Walking Wake, Charizard, and Chi-Yu for the next 2 seasons. Maybe that's enough. But until next time, hope you enjoyed your stay in the woods. Arrivederci.